I think the monarchy should be sponsored. There is definitely room for making more money out of the monarchy. The Sports Direct Buckingham Palace. Do you know what I mean? I'm not stopping there, Baz. I think I can see the Queen walking around with like Specsavers on her front or something. Do you know what I mean? Like proper, like a logo, like a football team. Anyone who decides on a destination wedding is basically saying, I don't want you lot coming to my fucking wedding.
One of the most popular TV comedies of all time, Friends, was shit.
Ooh. Hello, and welcome to the Lock-In Podcast. My name's Mike, and this is Baz. Say hello, Baz.
Hello, Baz.
Hey!
I've not
Baz
said that for weeks.
It's been a long time, and look, in the world of podcasts, you won't know, but we haven't recorded one of these for probably a month, maybe more. So I've missed my mate Baz. I've missed having a drink with you in our virtual pub, the Brace of Readlings. Google it. Then you'll get the joke. It's quite funny. It's just me and Baz chatting shit. Sometimes we've got guests, sometimes we don't. But I didn't want a guest this time because me and Baz haven't done one haven't recorded one for about a month. So I just wanted this one to just be me and Baz, as it was when we started, just sat about having a drink, having a chat. So we're going to start, Baz. Why don't we start with the reason that you've not been around for a month? I feel like I probably have to salute you or something now, or curtsy or something, because you've been schmoozing with the Queen for a month.
I have been working for the Queen. So basically, if anybody is from anywhere doesn't know, there is a yearly horse show held at Windsor Castle, which is specifically for the Queen, because obviously she keeps horses. And it's called the Royal Windsor Horse Show. But I was away for 7 weeks in total, and to be fair, I didn't really like it. Too far away from social media, too far away from doing podcasts.
Hey, mate, saying you didn't enjoy that is probably treason. You could probably still be hung for that.
But so we're actually living in the grounds of Windsor Castle. For us there, we've got special passes which allow us to sort of go anywhere within the grounds. It's called a house pass, which I've only found out covers me for all royal sites. So I can literally go up to Buckingham Palace, show this pass, and I can wander in there.
What the fuck are you doing here then? Why aren't you doing that? I'm filming it for the internet.
Well, it's kind of weird because, like, even though I'm allowed to do that, it still feels quite weird just being able to go anywhere within the grounds of Windsor Castle. And obviously, to get one of these passes, you've got to go through some really, really stringent security checks. And and it goes right back into your pass and your parents' pass. So there's a lot of, obviously, I'm very much past to go into all these sites now. So,
not being funny, Baz, but I reckon they checked you long and hard because you're a brown man with a long beard.
Oh, mate, as soon as you mention born in Akrotiri, Cyprus, and then mother Malaysian, it's kind of like, oh, right, we better delve into this.
Hold on. There's a brown man with a big beard wants a pass to get into the Queen's bedroom. What the fuck?
Well, the only good thing is it's white now, so they was probably thinking, well, this is what Santa does in the off season.
Anyway, right. Yeah. So you may have caught our one of our previous podcasts where we did our mildly controversial opinions on things, because the two golden rules of our podcast is we don't talk politics and we don't talk religion. Although I just got close then, didn't I? Anyway, we don't talk politics and we don't talk religion, just because it's too divisive, and we're not about that. We're about sitting and having a chat and having a few drinks and having a laugh.
Also, we're not really qualified, are we, to be fair?
No, and we don't care enough about anything to get involved in that kind of chat. So basically what we're doing here is we did an episode which was our mildly controversial opinions, and people seem to like it, and we really enjoyed it, which is more to the point. So we're going to do another one because we have more mildly controversial opinions. So what we're going to do is just going to go through opinions from me and from Baz, have a bit of a chat about it, and wherever you're watching or listening, bang your opinions in the comments and we'll reply to you. We're literally, we get so few comments, we will reply to everything. We're so needy. We're so needy with comments. Follow us, like us, share it, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and comments. We will reply to all. In fact, we might actually, we get such few comments. We might even come around to your house and reply.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Just rock up to someone's house and say, "No, that comment you put on Spotify." Yeah. Well, yes. All right. See you later.
It's worth noting as well, if you haven't listened to the previous one, we agreed 100% on our opinions last time. So hopefully we'll have a bit difference of opinion this time, because it was.
We started the previous one of these with the fact that this could be the last ever lock-in podcast, because we could fall out so much we never want to work with each other again. So let's start again with that. Who knows? These mildly controversial opinions could spark something that isn't so mildly controversial, and we disagree so much that this could be the last one ever. So yeah, if we do, obviously I don't know yet because we're just at the start of this podcast, but if we do and this is the last one, still go back and listen to the other ones, because there's still loads of good stuff on there. There's over a year's worth of podcasts on there. Right then. Okay, I'm going to go first, Baz.
Go on then.
Because I drive this podcast and I'm in charge. So
good. I like this.
If you haven't been here before, that's that's not me being cocky. Baz is a self-proclaimed sidekick. So yeah, he knows his place.
Not even a very good one, to be fair. So. No,
exactly. Do you know what, Baz? I'm going to start. Seeing as we spoke about the monarchy earlier.
Oh, okay.
And your landlady for the last 7 weeks,
Madge,
in that you've been living in Madge's back garden, and that's not a euphemism, because that's definitely treason, by the way. Entering the Queen's back garden is definitely treason, I reckon. Yeah. Anyway, just on the subject of the monarchy, I've got a mildly controversial opinion, which is I think the monarchy should be sponsored.
Ooh.
I don't think you should get rid of the monarchy, because I buy the argument that they bring in a load of money. Loads of tourists come to the country, and yes, the UK taxpayer pays for them and all that kind of stuff. But there's been loads of studies done that suggest that the royal family make more than they take, basically.
Fair dues.
But that doesn't stop the fact that we could make more money out of them for the UK taxpayer. So I'm saying that I think this should be sponsored. I mean, everything. Literally, it should be like the Sports Direct Buckingham Palace. Do you know what I mean?
Let me just dive in here. This isn't even mildly controversial opinion. This is genius. I'm just saying this right now.
I just think it's fucking brilliant, because I mean, they couldn't say no, could they? Because you just think, look, we're not disbanding the monarchy. We're not. I mean, loads of people are advocates for that, but I'm not for that, because the monarchy has an important part to play in the UK and the Commonwealth and all that kind of stuff. And it's let's have it right. They've gone through a rocky couple of years. We'll not go any further into that one. But yeah, I just think that there is definitely room for making more money out of the monarchy. And like I say, it could be, the Sports Direct Buckingham Palace. You could have the Fortnum and Mason's Windsor Castle. There you go. We'll go a bit posh with that one.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not stopping there, Baz. I think I can see the Queen walking around with like Specsavers on her front or something. Do you know what I mean? Like proper, like a logo, like a football team.
Yeah, or a McDonald's hat. Honestly, do you know what? There was a time that if you'd spoken about sporting venues or anything, TV shows, anything being sponsored, you would be like, that's ridiculous. Why would you do that? This is just the next generation, as you say, after the Etihad. But
Baz, I love that, mate. That you've basically said I'm ahead of my time. I think you're trying to say that I'm a trailblazer, and I'm a trailblazer and a trendsetter, and I'm forward thinking. This is going to be a thing.
Is there any way that during this podcast you can either trademark it or copyright your idea right now?
I'm going to Dragon's Den with it, mate.
Oh, do you know what? Because like the things are endless because, like, you imagine every member of the royal family is probably going to would have to wear a different kind of, because racing drivers have got these things down their sleeves with all the different sponsors on them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and like, Prince Charles would be sponsored by, like, I don't know, so like some fertilizer company or something, like Baby Bio or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You could get William down Harley Street to one of these hair replacement
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but the now sadly departed Shane Warne. There's an opening there.
There you go.
The Advanced Hair Studio. So William could do that. He could earn some till doing that.
Andrew could be sponsored by ZZ's.
No, it was Pizza Express.
Pizza Express, yeah, because it was.
I thought you were going to go to a much darker place when you were so it's like Adams.
In my head, there was Mother Care and a few other things, but but I thought I'd go down the Pizza Express route instead.
Yeah. Even if you got it wrong,
or some deodorant company. Oh no, he doesn't need it, does he?
No, exactly. It was like, no, but you could do that, though. Sure, when you want pits as dry as Andrew's. Mate, I think this is a thing. We've got to, like I say, I don't want to disband the monarchy. I think I'm not a royalist by any stretch of the imagination. So I look at the royals from purely a cash benefit to the country point of view. Do you know what I mean? And it does have a role. It does bring money in. There is a net benefit of having a monarchy. And that's as far as it goes for me. But like I say, mate, it's just like, we can definitely do this. We can definitely, I say we, I don't think we can do it.
We should, though.
But as a country, I definitely reckon we could do it. And do you know what? Instead of like them like jetting away on like, royal, I know they don't have the royal yacht or anything like that, but now, if they want to go to all these places around the world, it's fucking Virgin Airlines and stuff, they've got to go in a Virgin Airlines t-shirt for the time they're away and stuff to earn the keep. It's a strong start again with so not only all the last previous episode we talked about mildly controversial opinions did we agree, but we've just agreed on quite a quite an out there forward thinking, a trailblazing one. We've just agreed on it already.
I mean, obviously we could do a whole podcast on that itself, but I just think this could actually happen in the future.
I think it should.
You imagine the agencies that would be queuing up to get the royal sponsorship or something. If
Manchester United can command like $1 billion over 5 years or whatever it is for a shirt sponsorship, imagine how much better you get. Imagine how much she could command.
Well, also, I think because it's your idea, we should be able. The Lock-In podcast should be able to sponsor somebody.
Yeah. Well, maybe Andrew at some point, because maybe he's going to get locked. That'll be the Lock Up podcast.
I was without a phone for 2 weeks, literally, and it was quite strange. So my controversial opinion is, accidentally leaving your phone at home once in a while is a nice vacation.
Convince me, Buzz.
Well, so one of the things, obviously, as we are social media people, and we're making content all the time, and everything social, it can be made as content. Not having a phone for 2 weeks meant that like I could actually like take my real life seriously, as opposed to constantly like looking at my phone and checking whether there's something I could put on there. It's the first time I've done a job in 2 years that I was able to just sort of throw myself into working and not have to worry about what my presence on social media.
But Baz, that's been shit for the rest of us because you haven't been there for us. Do you know what I mean? Don't be so fucking selfish.
But it's really nice though. There's a whole thing about not having to sort of check your messages every couple of minutes, and when nothing's coming through, because I literally didn't have a network, the network on my phone. So basically, unless I was attached to Wi-Fi, and that was only like for short periods of the day and the evening, I was completely just me on my own and not having to sort of rely on any influences from the outside world. It was quite nice, to be fair.
Well, since you were residing at Windsor Castle, did you have to phone people on one of those things that looks like a candlestick? And you put the other thing, hello?
No, we had messages on horses.
Sire, I have a message from your wife.
There were people on top of the castle doing like semaphore with flags and stuff.
I was like, I've just heard 3 cannons that Liz is going to bed.
So yes, But obviously, I think it's only controversial for people like us who are constantly like in use, on our phones all the time.
Yeah,
So
and, do you know what? A lot of people, social media cops a bit of flack on regular occasions, saying it's bad for people's mental health. It's people are being obsessed by it. They're losing touch with reality. Everything is like it's all about this fantasy, or people are always chasing likes and this, that, and the other. And it's people aren't talking to each other anymore, and this, that, and the other. And I call bullshit on some of that because we are. We are really, really good mates now, and met through this whole thing. And we record this on a regular basis, so we sit and we chat and we have a few drinks together, despite the fact we live in two completely different countries. And all the way through lockdown, we were able to connect and communicate with people and all that kind of stuff. Can you imagine lockdown without Zoom, social media, and if it was just telephones? It would have been a nightmare, and it would have been much, much harder to get through than it was.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. As soon as I got my phone back, all I did was literally catch up on everything I missed.
You just sat and scrolled through fucking TikTok for 10 hours, like the rest of us.
Exactly what I did.
I try not to do it, but I do occasionally get sucked into the TikTok FYP. And after about 2 hours, I feel like I need a shower, because I just feel so dirty, and I feel like, oh, I've done it again. I didn't mean to do that, but I got drawn in by this fucking algorithm and grabbed me and wasted 2 hours of my life. I kind of see where you're coming from, Baz, in terms of having a cleanse and coming away from constantly being on social media and all that. So yeah, I will tentatively agree.
But as a vacation, yeah.
But if you take my phone off me for 2 weeks, I'm going to fucking kill you. My next one is quite simple. Hot tubs are shit. Everyone fucking raves about them, right? And everyone's like, oh, I can't wait to get a hot tub. But people are spending 3, 4, 5 grand putting a big fucking bath in the back garden. Do you know what I mean? And it's not just a big fucking, do you know what I mean? You know what's really, really good in the sunshine or in a nice summer's evening is sitting about on like a decking or something like that, having a few drinks and a barbecue, having a few drinks with your mates. That is fucking class, right?
Yeah.
At no point before the invention of hot tubs did I go, oh, lads, do you know what would be better? It would be better if we were just all sat in our pants swimming around in each other's filth.
People who buy their own, like you just said, have it in their garden. They use it for 3 days of the year, and then the rest of the time they have it completely covered up. Fucking pointless.
I don't think I've ever been at a party and someone's gone like, oh, should we get in a hot tub? And I've gone, yeah, can't wait. It was like, I've got to get my gut out, right? I've got to, because you can't get in with a fucking t-shirt on. Do you know what I mean? Because that draws more attention to the fact that you're body conscious. But it's like, I really don't want to sit with a bunch of my mates or family in other people's filth.
Yep.
And just kind of, I just don't understand why just sitting around chatting in a chair isn't okay, and you have to get everyone to fucking descend into water and then just go, oh, I need a piss. And listen to me now, right? I wouldn't do it, but there's definitely people who've gone, I can't be asked getting out of here, drying myself off, walking over there. I'll just have a piss. No one's going to notice. So then you're in somebody else's piss.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's like the world's smallest fucking swimming pool, isn't it?
Yeah. And they're filthy as well. I don't mind going in a swimming pool because that's different, because you can do loads of stuff in there. Do you know what I mean? Swimming on holiday, brilliant. I don't do much of it because I'd rather, it's a pain in the ass getting dry and that. But, dicking about in the pool with the kids and stuff, like fine. And I know it's filthy. I don't have a problem with that. But all I'm saying is that the alternative, the alternative to going in the swimming pool on holiday is kids being miserable because they've not gone in the swimming pool. Yeah. The alternative to everybody sitting around in a hot tub at a party is everyone sitting around not in a hot tub at a party,
Yes.
which is just as good.
So I have this. I've just had this thought. I reckon that when they first came out, it was a sort of like a sign of decadence that you'd have one of these things in your garden. But obviously, every fucking place has one now, don't they? So
yeah, it was a sign of decadence until fucking Macro started selling them for like 300 quid. Do you know what I mean? And then every fucker's got one.
Well, there you go. That's 3 out of 3. Well, two of yours.
Yes, there you go. Hey, we're in agreement here, but Baz, it's a good sign. It's a good sign that we're compatible.
Yes,
as friends, colleagues, and podcast buddies.
I don't know if we've used this one before because I can't remember, but you'll soon let me know. So here's mine. Destination weddings are selfish.
Oh no, we haven't done that one before.
Yeah, don't ask guests to have to pay to go thousands of miles and pay thousands of pounds to go and watch your wedding, and then also buy you a gift and celebrate your wedding.
I mean, it's a valid argument, Baz. I'm going to, for the sake of debate, I'm going to come in with a counter argument. That anyone who decides on a destination wedding is basically saying, I don't want you lot coming to my fucking wedding.
There you go. If you can afford it, you'll make it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just turn up for a fucking buffet in the hotel near where we live. If you want to come to my wedding, you're going to have to fucking pay through the nose to come to our wedding. I will agree. Right? So we're agreeing on this one as well. Destination weddings are selfish, but I think that they're selfish for a reason.
Yes. when you put it down to that, it's good. Yeah.
My brother had a destination wedding. My brother got married in Central Park in New York.
Oh, okay.
And there was his now wife, and me and my wife, and that was it.
Oh, brilliant.
Nobody else, right? And it was brilliant. But I need to tell you this story about my brother's wedding in that we were getting said the wedding was in the bandstand just overlooking a lake in Central Park. It was beautiful. We were in full on, wedding attire, but there was only 4 of us in this bandstand with this celebrant or whatever.
Yeah.
And as they were getting married, we could hear from the other side of these bushes, so like just a guy on a guitar. They hadn't paid for any music or anything like that. There was no intention to have music there. So at the end of the ceremony, we walked around the other side of these bushes, and there's a guy there busking with a grass bank of people, probably 100 people, maybe more, sat on this grass bank listening to this busker play. And he saw us in the wedding attire, and he went, "You just got married?" And my brother and his wife were saying, yeah. He said, "Have you had your first dance yet?"
Oh my God.
And they were like, "No, we weren't going to have one." I said, "You are now." So what song do you want to sing and all this kind of stuff. So I get the camera out ready. I was like, this is fucking brilliant. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to capture this moment forever. They're going to fucking love me. So I start filming it, and it was just such a moment where there's like 100 people joining in, just like, oh, this is beautiful. And it was the days before, like, everyone would have captured it and put it all over Instagram and shit. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, this is such a beautiful moment. And I was like, oh, brilliant. And then at the end of the first dance, everything, like the guy congratulates them, everyone claps. I press the button to stop recording, and it goes, recording, and starts flashing. And I was like, fuck. I was like, literally, I'm not even kidding, right? And bless her, my sister-in-law has said she doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Right?
It's their moment, right?
Literally, if somebody came to me and said you could change one thing about the 47 years you've been on this earth,
yeah, that would be it.
That would be it. For that fucking video to have recorded, because it was such a beautiful moment. And bless her, like I say, my sister-in-law says, don't worry about it. We remember it. It's the memories that are important, all this kind of stuff. And oh, God love her. I love her for saying that. But I'm just like, oh my God, I wanted the ground to swallow me up, because I pressed the button and it went, and it said record, and started flashing. And you know that hot flush you get where you think, oh fuck. And do you know what? Do you know what? If it was now, it'd be on hundreds of people's Instagrams. We'd have a copy of it, but not then, man.
Yeah, but in fairness, like, so two things about that. A, there were like 100 people that remember it, and you four. But also, what a great story that's turned out to be, rather than the boring. Oh yeah, I just recorded it. It was a lovely moment. Actually, it's better for the fact that it was a fail.
It's funny now, but that was I don't know how long ago. Emma and I have been married 18 years, and so they've probably been married 50. So that's probably 15 years ago. Yeah, I know. There's rarely a day goes by where I don't regret what happened that day. And believe me, I've got a lot of things in my life I should fucking regret more than that. But no, that's it.
Yeah, but the good thing is, so basically, you've just told me that story, so I've got a full picture without you having to show me the video.
That's a beautiful. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's
yeah,
good.
I thank you also, but I still fucking hate myself.
It's a classic bit where you kind of go, "Fuck."
Oh, just honestly, I'm not even exaggerating, I'm not even joking, not even exaggerating. If like I rubbed a lamp and a genie came out and said, "Look, I'm all out of wishes. I've only got one," I'd be like, "That camera to work." That camera to have worked, or that camera to work, like I'm blaming the camera. Like me not to have been a fucking idiot and not press the button properly.
I bet Emma tells that story slightly differently to you, didn't she?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever brought myself to chat about that.
That's a great story, though. One of the most popular TV comedies of all time, Friends, was shit.
Oh.
So I say this. Have you ever watched it without the canned laughter?
No.
Oh, mate, you should watch it because it's like literally, nothing's funny about it at all. There's nothing funny about it at all.
To be honest, let's have this right. I think you may have lost a friend in Kelly Hurst.
Oh no! So it's a kind of weird.
She'll fight you with fists. She's a Geordie and she loves Friends.
But it's kind of weird. Yeah, so I loved Friends when I watched it, but having watched it back some years later, and then obviously you haven't seen it without the canned laughter. It's literally so shit. It's unbelievable, and yet, and then I've watched it back with canned laughter and I kind of go, oh no, it's not funny. It's not funny even in the slightest.
Do you know, I saw something which was they did a study of stuff with and without canned laughter.
Yeah.
And if you say to people, do you like comedies with canned laughter or do you like them without canned laughter? Everybody, I say everybody.
Yeah, the majority.
Statistically, it's not everybody,
yeah.
But the majority of people say, I'd rather not have canned laughter on a TV show. I'd rather have a true audience, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then when they then study, they show a program with canned laughter and a program without canned laughter. The people with the canned laughter enjoy the show more.
Yeah,
it's a really, really interesting thing. But it's but I think there's a bigger point. Than more than just Friends is you touched on that you really enjoyed it when it was first on, and then when you look back on it, it's a bit shit.
Yeah.
There's nothing more heartbreaking than finding something you thought was fucking brilliant in the 80s or 90s or whatever, finding it on YouTube, watching it back and going, oh my God, it's shit.
Yeah,
it's rubbish. Yeah. Why did I like that?
What was I thinking? but I also think that's the reason why very few of them have gone on to have any success since Friends, because they're genuinely not that good.
I think that like by the end, mate, they were on $1 million an episode. I don't think
they couldn't give a fuck, could they?
I don't think they'll be bothered, to be fair.
But as you just touched on the fact, it's like there are lots of things that you remember in your childhood or from earlier times that when you look back on them go, oh, was it just because that was at the time, or have things just moved on so much that isn't funny anymore?
No. Well, I mean, look, the number of times I've gone to my kids, oh, watch this, it's brilliant. and then watched back with them and gone,
Oh,
I'm gonna have to carry on and say this is brilliant, even though actually looking back, it's shit. Oh,
but yeah, so yeah, I would guess that there would be some people that fought me over that, but it's
there's definitely going to be. I enjoyed Friends when it was on,
same.
but I'm not one of these people who's. I haven't watched Friends for easily. I haven't watched a single episode of Friends easily for 10 years. But yeah, there are people who, like I say, mate. One of our mutual friends from TikTok, Kelly Hurst. I reckon she'll be, mate. I reckon she'll be throwing limbs at you when she hears this one.
Sorry, Kelly.
Fuck, that was so ASMR, mate. That was beautiful. Oh, sorry, Kelly. Sorry, Kelly.
Right, we better move on before she tracks me down and murders me.
That's it. You're in trouble now. Don't look, mate. Look, I married one 18 years ago. Don't anger a Geordie woman.
Thanks for that advice. I'm going to take it.
Very quick one, Baz. Mushrooms can fuck off.
So, I'll get straight into this. I understand this because I think mushrooms are like Marmite. You either like them or you don't. But also, I think the other thing is as well is that, like, it's like many things. If they're cooked badly, even if you like mushrooms, they're shocking.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying, Baz, is that if you don't like mushrooms, they're horrible. If you do like mushrooms, sometimes they can also be horrible.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, so
I ain't got time for shit like that, Baz. I ain't got time for anything that you have to be really fucking careful with, like how you cook it and all that kind of stuff. And do you know what? It's just, I will give him this: slicing a raw mushroom is possibly one of the most satisfying things I've done in my life.
I'd agree with you. It's one of those really weird things, isn't it?
I absolutely love it. But as soon but a raw mushroom, taste of shit. A cooked mushroom, taste of shit, and is some kind of slimy, like the devil's dick. It's horrible.
Thing is, you'll not get a lot of argument from people the people that like mushrooms, but there is a thing where sometimes they're in stuff and they need to be in there. Like,
no, I'm gonna have to stop you there, Baz. They never need to be fucking anywhere. Right? There is never ever a dish that needs mushrooms in it. Never.
Yeah, actually, one of the weirdest dishes for mushrooms is like a big portobello mushroom with cheese in it. That's just weird.
Just have the cheese.
Exactly.
Just bring me a fucking bowl of cheese.
I'm trying to think of something where I think mushrooms are essential, but now you've said it, there really isn't anything. Like
the worst thing, right? For as somebody who hates mushrooms, the worst thing is, right? I ordered a steak pie in a pub, right?
Yeah.
Steak pie. I love a good steak pie. Right?
Yeah.
Love a good steak, really thick, rich gravy, nice, crispy pie. And by the way, just so we're clear, if it's just got a fucking lid, it's not a pie, by the way.
Good. I like this one.
Right? Yeah. So I'm talking about a fully encased pie.
Yeah.
And this is like, it tastes really. Next thing, the fuck's that? Mushrooms in it. Didn't say it on the menu. And this is a problem I have with mushrooms, right? If you've got mushrooms in somewhere, tell it, because, like you said, some people love them, but lots of people fucking hate them.
Yeah.
So if you've got mushrooms in somewhere, tell people, right?
Yeah.
The other problem I have is the number of times I've gone to a restaurant and there's or a pub or something like that, where there's only like 4 or 5 things on the menu, and 3 of them have got mushrooms in them. I was like, what the fuck are you thinking? There's loads of people who don't like mushrooms, and you've just got right. You could choose from 2 things. Fucking winds me up, mate. Winds me up. And I've had this debate with people before, and they say, "Oh, but there's such a beautiful taste and all this kind of stuff." And it's like, "Oh, have you tried a mushroom soup?" I was like, "Yeah, but that's like anything in a soup is all right. You can it tastes of something. Do you know what I mean?"
Well, mushroom soup is basically cream.
Yeah, it's cream and it's got a little bit of a nutty taste. I was like, well, give me a nut soup then.
Yeah, be careful on this one.
A creamy nut soup. Whoops. Oh, now there's a dilemma. Would I rather have creamy nut soup or mushroom soup? I'm not having mushrooms, and I just think that they put mushrooms are in so many things, and it's completely unnecessary. I'll tell you what, a carbonara doesn't need mushrooms. A steak pie doesn't need mushrooms. A bolognese doesn't need mushrooms. You know what I mean? A lasagna doesn't need mushrooms. Why fucking people put mushrooms in everything? I have no idea.
I've had things that are supposed to have mushrooms in that don't have mushrooms in. I haven't gone, oh fuck, it's not as good without mushrooms.
Exactly. So basically, if we erase mushrooms from the fucking planet, no one's going to complain. And
they're grown in shit, of course, as well.
Mate, who was the first person to walk through and go, what's that at the bottom of the tree? I was like, fuck knows what it is. But I'll tell you what, slice it and put it in a pan, we'll taste it.
So apparently, like, chefs don't use the stalk because that's the bit that touches the shit. I've never noticed that.
Oh, that's all right then. So someone's gone, oh, what the fuck's that growing out of that shit? I don't know. But don't use just the bottom of it. Let's eat the rest, though, eh?
Can we talk about tofu?
Yeah, let's talk about tofu.
So it's wrong.
Fucking brilliant! I love you, Baz.
Because like I don't. So it's a bean curd, I think what it is.
Yeah,
if I'm right. The only way you can do it is to basically cover it in salt and black pepper and fry the shit out of it. Then it just takes on the consistency of something underneath salt and black pepper.
Yeah, exactly. And look, no one's at the. Whenever non-vegetarians question tofu, people say, "Oh, but it's lovely, you know, it takes on the flavor of whatever you put with it." I'll tell you what, so does fucking chicken, right? And so do vegetables.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so if you're making a curry, don't put fucking tofu in it.
Yeah,
put vegetables in it. I get that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not having it myself. I'm having one that's got as many different meats in it as possible. But yeah, it's just tofu.
Oh, here's one for you then. So, given a choice between mushrooms and tofu, which one would you go
tofu?
For?
No, it'd be tofu. But to be fair, eating tofu is like eating a fucking flip flop.
Yeah. Oh no, it's.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd rather eat a flip flop.
Yeah. 100%. You didn't offer me that one. You didn't offer me that option, Baz.
Yeah. So basically, people go, "Oh yeah, if you cover it in chili, it's lovely." Well, you cover anything in chili, it tastes of chili, doesn't it?
Mate, literally, yeah. You cover a shoe in chili, it tastes of chili. What's the fucking point? Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. Anyway, good work. Good work as a non-meat eater, bringing up the fact that tofu's shit.
Oh,
that's another one that sneaked in. That's a bonus for you people. That one wasn't even an official controversial opinion.
Yeah, so in fairness, I've tried it thinking, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe I should, it's one of the food groups I should get in. No, don't.
Just definitely not.
Avoid it, yeah.
It's definitely not. It's like chopping up a pool float into cubes
exactly
and putting it in your fucking dinner. It's a waste of time.
And then
stop it.
And then going, yum, it's delicious.
Yeah. This tastes of other shit that I cooked with it. So it doesn't taste of anything then.
Even in a curry, you can still find it. That's the difference.
Yeah, you find it. Oh, look at this. Cubes of curd. That's what I want in my curry.
Is it my go?
Yes.
Okay, this may be controversial.
Good.
Weatherspoons really isn't that bad.
See, Baz, there's plenty of people who would disagree.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, bob on, mate. Yeah. Absolutely agree with you.
I've never had a bad experience in a Weatherspoons. Because
I've had plenty of bad experiences with Weatherspoons, but I still keep going back.
I don't know, but even to the food. Let's face it, they do cheap beer. The food's reasonably priced. It doesn't pretend it's like, you know, Michelin starred. It is what it is. You get a good breakfast there if you want it, and if you ask them not to put a mushroom on the plate, they'll do it for you.
Do you know what, mate? I wholeheartedly agree with you. And do you know what? I'm pretty sure they invented table service before COVID.
Oh, also, they were the first people that had an app which you could order
Exactly.
at your
That's what
table.
I mean. Yeah. They invented that. Like order and buy an app so you don't have to talk to a human being. Fucking brilliant in my eyes.
They are wildly popular. People go to them all the time, and it's not just the working class. You can go there and enjoy yourselves at Wetherspoons, and quite often in the shittest towns, it's the only place that's open.
There you go, especially at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. So hopefully the Lock-In podcast can get sponsored by Wetherspoons on the back of this.
Okay, mate. We'll whore ourselves out to anyone who wants to sponsor this podcast. I don't care what it is. I don't care. I have no morals whatsoever. It's like the National Mushroom Board. If you want to sponsor it, I doubt it now, but if you want to sponsor it, we'll be all over that. Yeah. Just give us your money. We'll talk about, we'll pretend to like anything. The thing I do have about Wetherspoons that I don't like is that they obviously there's no sport on TV and all that kind of shit, but there's no music as well.
Yeah.
So all you get is just this fucking noise of people talking.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's really loud. It's louder than the fucking music would have been.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's just so fucking loud of people talking over each other. There's just cacophony of noise.
So my worst and favourite thing about Wetherspoons is their designers managed to put the toilets the furthest part away from the actual pub as you could possibly imagine. I think sometimes they put it in a building next door.
I don't know who invented the toilets at Wetherspoons, but someone had just read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe because all the toilets were in fucking Narnia.
It's mad, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
Every time you go to Wetherspoons, they're always up the stairs, down a mile-long corridor, then back on yourself, then
down some stairs, then across a bit, then up some more stairs. It's just into another dimension.
I went to one in London that was 3 stories up, and the pub was only on 2 levels.
So. I thought you were going to say I went to one in London and the toilets were in Coventry.
So I'd really like it if someone from Wetherspoons is ever watching this and has part of their sort of design process. How do they do that? Like you said,
it's just. Look, I just think there must be you can't have no toilets, but there's cheaper rent in a place down the road that we're going to put the toilets in there, and it's just mate.
I like the fact they've got toilets on the way to the toilets in case you wet yourself.
Yeah. Wetherspoons, if you want to sponsor this podcast, we're all over it, mate. All right, my next one is Fox's Jam and Creams are better than Jammie Dodgers.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm telling you, mate. It's like the not just Fox's Jam and Creams, any Jam and Creams, even like Aldi Jam and Creams, better than Jam. And don't get me wrong, right? I love a Jammie Dodger.
Yeah,
I love a Jammie Dodger. I'm a big fan. But yeah, the Jam and Creams, man, just better, And I know it kind of it makes me feel wrong saying it because I am a big fan of a Jammie Dodger, but it just we in the last one we did a bit about biscuits before.
Yeah.
Biscuits are obviously quite an important part of my life because I've realised that when we've come up with a list of controversial opinions, I've come up with another biscuit one.
Right, so before I get into this, I expressed my opinion about bourbons when I've been away recently because basically in the morning our office had biscuits in there and I walked in there in the morning and went, bourbons are shit. And you know what? Everybody agreed. Not by talking to me, by the fact that the bourbons were the last ones to get used.
Exactly. And like I say, we covered this in the last one.
Yeah,
like, bourbons are just fucking bourbons are okay, right? But like we mentioned this phrase last time. It's like they're literally 1 millimeter away from greatness.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you enrobe it in 1 millimeter of chocolate and it becomes a penguin. And penguins are fucking brilliant. It's just my problem with bourbon is just that they're fucking lazy. They could have been brilliant, but they decided not to be.
So I'm not really aware of the foxes. So tell me what the makeup of a fox's one is.
A jam and cream is just it's got a kind of a white filling similar to a custard cream, but kind of a cream flavored. So it's got a cream and a jam. But I'll tell you what, it's not just like just in case we we alienate a biscuit company that wants to sponsor us. Jacobs, who I used to work with, work for rather. Jacobs, who I used to work for, do Happy Faces.
Oh yeah,
they're also that's the same thing.
I like
It's
those.
not just got jam; it's got a cream in there as well. It's just better.
Do you know what? Every time I go to an airport and you have to hit one of those, have you had a nice experience? The smiling face on that is literally those smiling faces biscuit.
So I'm not going to hit it. It's not a Jammie Dodger.
Oh, so getting onto that. So IKEA also do a jam and cream. Yeah, I know. Controversially.
What? IKEA do fucking kitchens. What are you talking about? Are you?
No, they have a food. They have a food market there. They do a tube of caviar, which is basically just like really cheap.
IKEA do a tube of caviar.
Yeah, it's basically roe. It's not caviar.
It's not. It's something we scraped out of a dead fish.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what caviar is.
Exactly. Actually, that leads on beautifully to more food stuff. But anyway, they also do a jam and cream biscuit that has a circle rather than a heart. And they're better because the biscuit's better than a Jammie Dodger.
Well, it's not just the biscuit. Look, don't get me wrong, Burton's, if you're listening, if Jammie Dodgers want to sponsor our podcast, this is literally just us whoring ourselves out to a sponsor. But anyway. Here's one I've got for you, Baz, is that Apple phones are awesome. Apple Macs are shit.
Oh, yeah. Actually, so I am literally now on a MacBook Air, but it's literally the only thing I use it for is this. It's just this. I don't use it for anything else because unlike a phone, which is dead easy to use, most people have grown up using PC using Windows kind of based laptops, and people who use Macs love them.
Yeah,
I'm not one of. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I love the phone. I love the iPad, the watch, the whole kind of tie up. When it gets to this thing here, it doesn't work the same way.
And do you know what? It's like I've got an Apple Watch. I've got an Apple Watch. I've got an iPad. I've got 2 or 3 iPads in the house. The house is full of iPhones. All of that stuff. 100%. I'm all over it. And we've even got the AirTags for the dogs.
Yeah.
On the dogs' collars in case the dogs go missing, and on the phone, on the keys to find the keys.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff. Massive fan of Apple, massive fan of their products. But but no. I was like, it seems to me like the benefit of an iPhone is that it's dead easy to use.
Yep.
And then a Mac is just like really restrictive. And the reason a phone, the iPhone is good is because it's quite restrictive in terms of what you can do and what you can't do.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is fine for a phone. But then you go to a Mac and I'm just like, mate, you sit me in front of a PC, right? Fine, I'm all over it. I'll work for hours. You sit me in front of a Mac, I'm like a fucking monkey staring at a mirror.
It's like
I'm
this.
just like, just fucking slapping it. I don't understand what's going on because everything's hidden in stupid places. And that's the weird thing. It's like the iPhone is brilliant because it's so intuitive. Literally a 2-year-old can pick up an iPhone and work it straight away, or a 72-year-old.
Yep.
And do you know what? But that's both ends of the tech spectrum.
Yep.
But yeah, you put someone in front of it like because it's dead intuitive, it's dead straightforward. But put people in front of a Mac and you go, where the fuck's this?
Yeah.
Where's my email? It's like, where do I go to get this? Where do I go to that? It's just all fucking pictures everywhere. It's like, help me.
And I know that hopefully if we do get comments about this, there'll be people that like will go from what I'm about to say. I think there's a certain obstinance with Apple that they haven't included a delete key ever on any of their MacBooks.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so apparently there's a kind of function something or a shift something which you could do it with, but there's on a PC there's a delete key, so you could delete, and even on the iPhone there's no delete, but you can actually just highlight something and then type over it.
There's no delete key on the Apple Mac.
No, there never has been, and even after all the years of people switching over from PC to Mac, there's still not a delete key. There's no key that says delete on this keyboard right now.
Mate, is that just because it's like it's from California and it's just like no regrets?
Yeah,
you know don't go back and change shit. Just go with it.
I mean, much like the rest of this podcast, like we've alienated any sponsors. So Apple, we've just bigged up all the other products, but put a fucking delete key on a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro. Just to be
fair, apart from the Apple Mac, I've blown smoke up the arse of Apple quite rightly because I fucking love it. But, and then the chances of Apple wanting to sponsor the Lock-In podcast are pretty low anyway. So I think we're safe on that.
Yeah, and it's getting lower by the moment as well.
Apple Macs, fuck off.
But also, but I know so many people that use Macs, particularly designers and people that use it for making music and like editing and stuff like that. I get it, but like it's just, like, I'm like you. I'm not bad, even for my age, on technology. I get on here and I'm like this. And you have to see this visually. I don't know what to press. I'm like this, two fingers.
No idea where shit is. And it's just, and it's weird because on a phone, like I say, literally a 2-year-old can work an iPhone because it's so intuitive and it's so straightforward. You get to a Mac and it's like, what the fuck have you hidden everything?
Yeah, exactly.
What do I do? I was like you said, I want to fucking delete. So I want to delete something I've written. It's like, nope. No regrets. you must continue with your life. You must continue with your sentence, despite the fact it's got spelling mistakes.
And also, I know this because, like, I am a PC user, so I have loads and loads and loads of icons on my screen, which are different things that I open in my files in one place. On a MacBook, people that use them properly don't have any icons. There's none on there. It's literally you open your files, you go to do a certain thing, and then you delete that opening file, and it's gone forever. So, but yet my MacBook's got thousands of icons because I don't know how to fucking use it. I mean, I know the problem probably is you and I using it, but it's more the fact don't make it fucking so difficult to use that like you're alienating people.
Don't make every product you sell really easy, and then make one really fucking complicated.
Before we end, can we talk about the some of the stuff that's currently in the news, and this will date this episode? Have you been watching much of the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp stuff that's been going on?
Anybody who's on TikTok can't get away from the
Johnny Depp every single day
trial.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's mad though. In that it's not like the whole world. I mean, I haven't watched enough of it to make my own decision, but it seems like the whole world is just like Johnny Depp is a saint and Amber Heard is a cunt.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
the whole world is like, I haven't seen enough to make my own decision, but
I'm not a judge, and I don't know anything about law, but I can't see her winning this case.
Well, I mean, thankfully the case won't be decided by people on a teenage social media like TikTok.
Exactly.
Hopefully, the judge is listening and not just scrolling through her FYP and seeing all the shit that people are putting on there.
But isn't it bizarre that like something like, which is I'm guessing is an everyday kind of situation with people getting divorced and having some baggage, mildly saying it's baggage, in their relationship. But this thing's like super, super, super viral, and it's kind of weird the fact that this is now what people are consuming in their everyday life, and and having having opinions about, and they're not just mild opinions like we have.
Yes, not just mildly controversial, actually controversial.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is Baz and I are utter ramblings over a couple of beers, and that is those are our opinions. If you disagree with our opinions,
and
that's fine. And you probably should for a lot of them. If you disagree with our opinions, that's fine, as long as you put your opinions in the comment section or wherever we are. And also share it with people who share your opinions and all of that kind of stuff. Basically, just make more people see our shit is what I'm trying to say.
There's a really good way to end it.
Yeah, exactly. And on that bombshell, to quote Alan Partridge. Yes.
Question for you. So where can people find this?
Where can people find it? Baz, if people are listening to this, they've already found it.
Oh, yeah, but they're only in one place.
So, yes, that it is. Well, let's just remind people how they stumbled across this shit.
I love the fact that, because I haven't done this for weeks, I can't remember what you're supposed to do.
Neither of us can. Right. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We have been Mike and Baz. This is the Lock-In Podcast. Thanks for being here. If you've enjoyed it, share it with your friends. If you haven't enjoyed it, share it with people you don't like.
That's it. That's the one.
There you go. Anyway, so yeah, don't forget to follow, subscribe, all of that shit. If there's a button to press it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
See you later. Bye.